now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. I closed my eyes when I did that. I don't know why. If you're watching on YouTube, that will be a very bizarre. I was like, hello. Welcome, you guys. Welcome back to the Good Bad Advice Podcast, the first of the 2025 year for us. We are your hosts. I'm Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we give unsolicited advice to people in the news, catch up, share things that we love with our good baddies, but mostly it's an excuse to hang out with each other.
Yeah.
Which we did a little bit over the break, which is great. We're sorry that we didn't have a full swear episode, you guys. We're going to just have a 5-minute 2024 swear recap of today.
Should we do it at the end?
Yeah, we'll give... if you
we'll
want
do it at the end if you want to stick around for the
you want to hear the Year End Rant. I've been slowly making a list. Stephanie, because she's just in a good place and I'm not, I guess. She was like, I don't really have anything to rant about. And I was like, I've been making a list.
If you would have caught me October 1 of 2024, I would have had a list. Yes. And it would have started with cryptosporidium. It would have started with Traven's parasite that he got. And it would have ended too personally.
We didn't put, I don't know if we talked about his parasite on the pod yet.
We did.
Okay,
we did.
Okay.
We barely mentioned it.
Sorry, Traven.
We barely briefly mentioned it. And now here's me giving it a name, which is cryptosporidium. Don't get a parasite, folks. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Poor Oliver has a little something as well. Oh. And I'm like, ugh, don't get it on my bed.
No.
That's what I say. It's not contagious by contact, right?
Yep.
With Traven, it is?
Well, it is contagious, but I would have had to ingest.
And you're like, that is not happening.
Yeah.
So he's really losing out.
Nope. There was a lot of space. There was a lot of Lysol, a lot of bleach, vinegar.
Yuck.
Yuck. My whole house smelled like chemicals, but I was not getting cryptosporidium. So also in that meantime, we did have family come stay with us while there was an active parasite in our house. So I had a
joke's
couple
on you.
mental breakdowns.
You want to come? You want to invite yourself over? Done. We'll get back at you.
Yeah, no, you know in the TV where like somebody's sobbing and then you just watch them take like a deep breath and then they're like, I have to keep going. I had a few of those.
That was the end of 2024 for most people listening. We were just like... This is not worth jail. This is not worth prison. I will not be good. I am too beautiful.
And to be fair, like pretty much from like when my grandma passed away, mid-September to like December 16th, I was unwell. Because
that was the partay.
I was not Emmanuel.
She was Emmanuel well.
Literally.
Okay, but how was your holiday? Let's have you give just like a handful of highlights of your holiday.
I made a gorgeous breakfast brunch.
Gorge.
Didn't do a casserole because it was a bunch of like picky children. And I was like, I genuinely don't know if they're going to consume a casserole from me. I did pancakes that I doctored up a box mix because I was like,
totally.
We're just doing something low key.
Although I will say homemade pancakes are pretty easy.
Oh, so easy and so delicious. I just didn't have the
Yeah.
I love to do
I just love
buttermilk.
how buttery they feel. So if you do the buttermilk and then you do like the actual butter and it blooms a little bit.
And I had cinnamon butter. So every single pancake, when I would stack them, I would put cinnamon butter in between the stacks while they were sitting.
Slay.
Then I got the Great Harvest cinnamon chip bread.
Yum.
Made French toast with that.
Solid.
It was incredible. So yeah, I actually hosted a family, Traven's family, not like a family, a random family picked up on the street.
Except for Santa, it's a little different this year. Which, well, go on, I'm gonna make sure.
We were like the 24th through the 30th with his family, and it was so fun. By the way, I hate to out this spot because if it starts getting crowded, I am gonna cut you guys. Have you been to Del Barrio in Midvale?
No.
You guys, I'm going to put you onto something right now, which is like the best Mexican food
I forget that we filmed
ever
this.
had. Yeah. Sometimes
I literally
sometimes
just
you
realized.
get,
Because I was checking the levels when I was like, no, and I thought, oh no, that's too high. Then I realized the levels were low, so I was trying to pull the microphone closer to my face. But then when I did so, I just started rubbing my face on it as I was just listening, and I was making sure that the monitor wasn't picking it up, which it wasn't.
No.
But the giant camera, your brand new camera, sure as hell picked it up.
Yeah,
got it.
No, that one got it.
Okay. So Del
Barrio in Midvale. It's like right under the bridge when you're driving on State Street.
Do you have to answer a riddle?
No, I'm sorry. It's not under the bridge. It's after the bridge.
Okay, got it. Just under the bridge. I was like, right. If it gets crowded, you guys, I'm gonna be pissed as hell. Babe, I don't. It's the guy with the grocery cart.
Listen,
yeah, he's turned his grocery cart into a little open flame kitchen, and you're just like, listen, you guys, Del Barrio. That's his name, Del Barrio, and he doesn't have a license, but he makes a tamale that it'll just
his
flood your
tacos.
basement.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Okay.
No, when you go in there, you're gonna go. What was that parasite Traven got, and did he get it from here?
Yeah,
It looks
fully.
Like you're like, I'm a little worried. In the food, I got a quesadilla al pastor, and it changed my life. Like
it didn't
I'm a
really
Catholic
change
now.
your life.
Yeah, no, I'm Catholic now. Like it was.
Oh my gosh. So we went to hang on, I'm coming back to it. Oh my gosh, this is such a funny tangent. So we went to the John Williams Symphony last night.
Yes. Was it so good?
Yeah. Actually incredible.
Yes.
I think we could become symphony people.
Same.
In that we go to the symphony, or I just like listening to orchestral arrangements. I said to Steven last night, I'm going to listen to more just like while I'm getting stuff done, because it actually put me in a very creative space. I was getting, like I had said to Steven, I'm not good with just listening to music and nothing to see. So I was on my phone, like doing work or doing different planning stuff. And I was in like a really good headspace. Anyways, we're coming out. And when we were walking in, there were all these people with these lanyards, like a big old like sign with a lanyard. And I was like, what are they all for? And they were like monks, there were priests, there were like so many different and I was like, oh my gosh, is this just like United Nations but for religions? Like this is so cool. Are we holding like a religion conference? And so I'm like saying to Steven as we're walking up, I'm like, I'm gonna ask one, because there's all like just different like waves of people. Yeah. So we're coming out and they're all like leaving the Salt Palace, and so I'm like, I'm gonna ask them. He's like, don't, that's so weird. And I was like,
Steven's like, please.
He's like, please. Which I have another tangent.
Okay, go.
I have to do a tangent.
Go.
Okay.
This is our first catch up on the year.
Yes,
just
because
you
just remind me. Hang on, I'll put it in here. I almost fought an old woman yesterday. Like physically fought.
Okay, that makes sense.
Old woman. I'm going to just put that as part of my recap. I know we're in your recap right now, but it sounds like it's my recap, but I do have a story. So we're leaving and I'm like, I'm going to ask him. And he's like, no, don't. Well, we get to a stoplight, and one of them's on the phone. He's like, bro, I was telling you, I'm at one of those retreats. No, I'm at a retreat in Salt Lake City. And I'm like, what kind of retreat? Like, I'm like leaning in, like trying to get around the people with like the crowd. And he's like, the Catholic retreat, for the Catholics. No, I am Catholic. That's why I'm here at the Catholic retreat. I don't know what I was thinking, but I looked at Steve and I go, Catholics. I said it so loudly, forgetting that I was surrounded by Catholics leaving the Salt Palace. Like in my head, it was that we were like I was doing like a break the fourth wall to the camera of my life, being like, Catholics, because it was in my head. It was so funny that I for like hours I've been yourself. Like, what was this? What are they? Why do they? Who's the priests? Is it and I guess it's not a monk. I guess like I kept calling them Friar Tucks, but apparently that's not their name. That's like a different thing. It's a little Robin Hood, but I get them confused because they look really similar and they have those bangs. It's like slay. Anyway, when I was just like, Catholics, Steven shot me a look that was like, I'm trying to be supportive. Now to the finish your Christmas story and then remind me to tell you about when I almost hit this woman in the face.
Mostly to say, Merry freaking Christmas. My house is empty.
Now, have you taken down Christmas?
Yes. Took down everything on January 1st.
Same.
Although I have to say, I just like had a full corner with my tree, full of stuff, and now I'm like, I think I need drapes.
No, literally, I said to Steven, because we You were there. We had kind of Christmas upstairs, downstairs, in the thing.
Everywhere.
Like Christmas barfed all over our house.
Yeah, I'm like, it's empty.
I know a lot of people responded to the concept that we had put on a social cut of like I feel like Christ is deciding if I get into heaven based on how much I'm celebrating his birthday.
Yes.
That I'm for sure getting into heaven, and I have a +1. Like that's how I'm using it for my mom.
Yeah, the amount of garland I had to take out stuff out of one of my storage boxes to create a new Christmas box.
I bought 4 new Christmas boxes.
Yeah.
No, because we had the Christmas village, we had the downstairs tree, we had a new nativity my parents gave us that is all olive wood from from Jerusalem. So like we just had so much stuff. Anyway, we took it all down, but we're at dinner last night. This is not a great story for me, but I think you'll be on my side.
Yeah, of course. I'm always on your side.
What's that song? Always on your side. Anyway.
Yeah.
Always on my mind. A different song.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we go to From Scratch. And that is where we saw the Friar Tucks. That like literally it was like, so the whole night was coded by like
priests.
What is going on. I don't know if they're real priests. I didn't see boys around them. So it's a joke. It's a joke.
I had water in my mouth.
I know. Don't ruin the mics.
That was a joke. We're a funny comedy podcast.
So we're right at the doorway. 3 little like monk Jawas are all you know what I'm saying, like the Jawas from Star Wars. Like it was very much, I couldn't see their faces because the cloaks were up and the beads were shaking, but I was like, what's up, good looking? So they were in front of us and then we were behind them. This woman, I would say like in her 50s, 60s, is like, excuse me, I'm trying to get in. And I was like, I don't know where you're going to go. She's like, they have a table ready for me. And I was like, okay. So she kind of pushes past me. The guy takes the 3 men of the cloth and sits them at a table. Then she says, hi, I'd like a table for 2. And then I said, because I was really just done, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? We have to mark this as explicit anyway. Yeah. So, but I said, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And Steven like rubs her, he's like, it's okay. And she was like, what? I said, they didn't have a table ready for you.
Yeah.
No. She looked back at me. And then when Steven had said that, I didn't say anything. But then I said to Steven, they didn't have a table ready for her. Because I was saying loud enough so that this bitch could hear. I was like, they didn't have a table ready for her.
Yeah.
She just lied to get in front of us in the line.
Yeah.
So they sit her at the bar. Then they're like, we can sit you guys at the bar if you'd like. And Steven's like, not next to her.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we could put you down. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
The waitress comes and I'm like fuming at this point. And then I'm just like, I just want to make sure we get our food before them.
Yep.
So we get our food before them because our waitress is a baller. We're then leaving because I wanted to be able to pass them.
Yeah.
We're leaving as she's coming out of the bathroom. Steven doesn't even know this. He's going to find out when he listens, if he listens. I know he does, but at some point, like in a month, he'll be like, what? I can't believe he did that to the woman. She's walking in the bathroom, and I just wrote back and said, disgusting, as I walked right past her. I feel like that's the word that cuts the deepest. It's just to be like, I just sat under my breath. I just like, disgusting. And I walked past her. Because I almost fought her. Are you still on my side? I'm not getting that you're totally on my side here.
I'm looking for it.
Okay, so
I'm looking for it.
What if I said she was a member of ISIS? She'd kidnapped 3 kids. They were in the car. And she ran over 2 dogs. She was wearing them. Dead carcasses around her neck. She had she had put blood on her face. And it wasn't even of the dogs.
Yeah, I would agree that would be disgusting.
Okay, thank you.
Especially
Thank you for being on my side. I knew it would only take a little bit of cajoling to get you there. So my Christmas break was great. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I knew Christmas Eve was going to be stressful because I was hosting it, and I'm not just like hosting. I was the same with you.
Did you use my new Christmas present?
No, because remember I didn't, no offense, but there was not enough of them, remember? And I also didn't want to waste it. Stephanie got me custom embroidered for that 14 custom embroidered napkins that say please leave by 9.
Yeah, custom linen embroidered napkins.
Like gorge.
That
such
have
a great
black
gift.
Embroidery on it that say
that's
please
cursive,
leave by 9.
that's like beautiful. I loved it. So I was really trying hard to be like, I don't want to lose my shiz on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Like I want to stay good. So I did
you
really
catered then.
I'm aware. Now, looking back, there were decisions that could have been made beforehand to change the trajectory of what became.
Yeah.
Because and I don't know if anyone listening is kind of similar in this vein, where you're like, this is going to be I know how I've historically handled things, but this is going to be different.
It's going to be
We
different.
got it. So I planned like 3 days before. You had some of the Christmas crack. We finessed the Christmas mocktail that we had like days before, because you were there on the 23rd or 22nd. So I was like, okay, so a day before. But I was feeling really, really good. In fact, we were able to
calm on the 23rd.
Yeah, no, and I felt good about it. We also were able to deliver, and we're so appreciative we could deliver the sub for Santa that we actually had quite a few good baddies donate to. So thank you for being so wonderful.
Baddies.
So we did that on the 24th. Like, I thought it was going really well. The 20 minutes before everyone came over is a little bit of I don't really have a lot of memory. I think I blacked out. I understand I was using quite a few words. Not ideal. And then as soon as everyone left, I apologized for like being a grumpo, and they were like, it's totally fine. But that is kind of how the break went. It's so much work doing Christmas, particularly like in some ways, I know I'm not single, but like I'm like a single dad. Like I know like historically moms are the ones for the holidays who are like the ones that make the magic. And so if your mom made magic this Christmas, or if you were a mom who made magic, first off, thank you. And if your mom made magic, thank her.
And on top of that, we have partners who are extremely helpful. And like, I have partners.
I thought you were saying moms generally.
No. Me and
you. No, you and I have partners
you
that
gave
are
me
like,
a look like not helpful.
Oh, no. Steven was a dream.
Steven is very
like
helpful.
It was so
errands,
great.
He'll do anything. Like,
no, like they were,
table.
And he was also
Same
like
with
helping broker some of like the intense energy I was bringing in the house. Like, no, sorry, I thought you were saying moms generally, because I think back on all of the times where like my dad was super surprised by what my parents gave us for Christmas. Like that's more of what I was leaning toward.
Exactly. Like, and I think dads, or like the generation above us, like they figured out ways to help, but not in the way that like I get supported by Traven. Like,
agreed. We're lucky.
Both in the kitchen. Like
we're both planning.
we're
both
in the trenches.
We're in the grocery
making
store.
Breakfast the morning.
He's not
Christmas.
just in a recliner with a beer watching the football game while you're like, with your curlers in and a lace.
So imagine doing all that by yourself.
I would die.
Yeah. And like, you're like, I think I understand why some Christmases I got yelled at.
Yeah. So it was a good, and I actually was in court maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And it was whether or not like there was a recording of a dad, my guy, who was like yelling at their kids. And I was really appreciative of this judge who was like, and mom was making a huge deal about he yelled, it's emotional abuse, blah, blah. And this judge was like, sometimes kids need to be yelled at.
Yep.
Like I think that's okay. And so he's like, I'm not persuaded by the yelling. That doesn't bother me at all. And I'm like,
now, like the content of the yelling could have been crazy,
of course,
but like sometimes kids need sternness.
Preach. A couple of the fun things that we did. We went to the hockey game. That is one of my 3 GBs.
I haven't been to a hockey game yet.
Utah,
is it so fun?
It's phenomenal.
Okay, I'm so excited.
I will say, like, Ryan Smith, thank you for bringing hockey here.
Nailed it.
Yeah, and the venue's fire. We were really, really lucky. We got taken by Zion's Bank, so we were center ice in the suite.
Oh, gorgeous.
Full course, multiple, like so much food, desserts, treats. They brought in extra treats like halfwe'll through the game. It was a blast. Yes, it was a
crazy.
It was a blast. The dessert trolley is like, hello, we'll take the lot. So we'll take the lot. And then have you seen a thing that's like, we'll take the plot. And then she goes, you're a Horcrux, dear. You're going to die. It's so funny. Anyway, so that was really fun. We had an awesome Christmas brunch at my sister's house. Like, she's now done it for 6, 7, 8 years, if not longer. And so she really has it like down. Delicious. Yeah. I am really lucky that everyone in my family, minus maybe Pierce and his family, aren't really necessarily known for like food. But like my mom is an amazing cook. My brother Cade is a really good cook. Chelsea's a really good cook. I'm a really good cook. Like the food for the holiday hit.
Yeah.
We then went up to the cabin. And I don't typically love the cabin because there's like...
It's hard to be away from your space.
It's hard to be away from your space. And there's 24 people crammed into a cabin that's heated with a stove. It's really, really fun, but it's not glamorous.
Yeah.
Steven and I and his sister have bought our own mattresses because we're in like the twin bunk room.
Yeah.
And so we have like mattresses, but it's just... It was not normally my favorite. The kids loved it. It was a really fun time for them to get to go to be with Steven's nieces and nephews and lots of like snowmobiling and sledding, and it snowed and snowed and snowed. However, did I even tell you what happened at the end? Babes, you're going to freak out. I already told you the one freak out thing offline. We can't share it on the pod. If you know me, you know.
You know.
But if you know me personally, you know, if you're in the circle. Okay, so last night, we're there for 3 nights. Last night, Steven's youngest brother, Daniel, the one who just got married in November. It's like 3 a.m, and Steven wakes me up. And he's like, hey, there's a crisis downstairs. I need you to put on your shoes. I need you to come down. We need help. And I had taken a sleeping pill.
Okay.
And so I was very much like, is this real?
Love to help. I am having an out-of-body experience.
I would love to help.
Yeah. My grandma is in the corner. I just need to let you know.
Hang on a second.
She is here.
Chuchi and Chong Chong. No. Papa needs to go downstairs. Like, you know what I mean? Like those are the people I hang out with when I'm sleeping.
Cheech and Chong?
Yeah, Chi and Chong Chong.
Because
you get
Cheech and Chong are the...
it's not a big deal. I'm trying to be careful. My children listen to this.
Totally.
So you're listening to my sleeping pill. Yeah. So I go downstairs. Yeah. This is like actually really sad. I'm like making it really funny because I just talked about Chi and Chong Chong. But so I go downstairs and Danyan, so Steven's sister, Shiley, older sister, is a nurse. Yeah. And I hear as I'm coming down the stairs, Danyan, keep consciousness, please. Danyan, you need to keep consciousness. And then I get downstairs, and Danyan is having his body is fully Charlie horsed. So his entire body is like a plank, and he is passing out in pain over and over again. Oh. He had been throwing up for a while, and then he got super dehydrated. And then he has some maybe neurological something or something triggered where his whole body just began to shut down. So he was seizing. And so his hands and everything was so cramped. And so his new wife, who, Liv, if you're listening, I was so beyond impressed with her.
Oh, no. Because I can't even think about that.
She is holding his head stable because as he's passing out, he's hitting his head on the table. Yeah. As we're trying to get him dressed, Steven's other 2 brothers are getting the snowmobiles because we don't have cars at the thing. You have to snowmobile to a parking lot and then dig out the car from the parking lot, which takes several, so they were trying to get him the ER. I am having to pull his hand because he's in and out of passing out saying, my thumbs, I can't do this. I want to die. My thumbs. But he's screaming them because his thumbs with the Charlie horse are digging so deep into his skin that the fingernails are piercing his skin. And so I am like, and I am a strong dude. Yeah. I mean,
no, to fight muscles.
To fight that muscle though.
That is cramped.
I am pulling as hard as I can. Yeah. So I'm pulling and I'm having to pull his arm straight to be able to do that.
You have to
and then I'm doing that with my right hand, and then I'm having to do the sternum rub to help him stop passing out so that he will stay with us. Thank God he's okay. Yeah. But we had to carry him. Steven put his boots on him, and Steven said that his calves were like iron. Like it was so tight. We had to carry him like this out, get him onto the snowmobile. He was screaming in pain and then passing out. Brandel was behind him. I will say this is like a funny bit because Brandel's like at one point, because we're all a little bit dazed, right? At one point, Brandel's like
we're using humor to cope.
Because this was traumatic. So beyond traumatic. I'm like trying not to get triggered even thinking about it. But Brandel was like, and then like he completely passed out, and I like that it was quiet for a second, but then I was like, oh wait, no. And so he's like, so then I'm smacking on him to get him to wake back up. I said to Brandel, okay, wait. So you were like, oh no, he could die. But it is nice to not have him screaming because he was really screaming
into my ear.
So he did, and we're really, really unimpressed with the Park City Hospital, whichever one that he was taken to. They were just like, sounds like a panic attack to us, and we're like, sounds like a panic attack. And like, thankfully, his sister's a nurse, so she was like, you actually can't discharge him because he keeps passing out. You need to keep him stable. Like, that was really good, but the cabin ended traumatically,
to say the least.
But the other traumatic part of the cabin, which was kind of healing, you ever feel like people go, when the whole family gets back together, if you go to like a cabin, if you go on a family trip, people like regress to where their emotional stunting took place from like a traumatic upbringing or whatever. And so like you revert back. So like Steven and his brothers for sure have some trauma around Monopoly. And all I'm saying is that when we open the pieces, now how traumatic do we mean Monopoly is for them? Like, how old is this Monopoly board game? Multiple properties are just written on pieces of paper, handwritten. Almost all the hundreds are just pieces of paper that say 100. You know, like it's an $8, maybe $10 fix
that we could get
a new one. But there's so much trauma built into this one board game that
it's their Jumanji.
It is their Jumanji. They go into the game. The lions come straight up out. Yes. And so we were playing on the very first floor where there were young kids who were sleeping, and it was when they were in bed. And so we played Quiet, Speed, Monopoly. Oh. Steven and I a team. The other gays a team, Brad and Dario. Daniel and Liv. This is before he almost died. And then, which honestly, we genuinely think, because that was the very last night. Yeah. Also, that was the same night. We're like, I wonder if the trauma from the game triggered a flippin' hospitalization. And then Sean and Kaya, who, by the way, Kaya is 9 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant. Like, she is pregnant. Yeah. Okay. She's the banker. She may as well have had like a cigarette, really, really thick New Jersey accent. Yes. And like 6 baby, like she was just like, how much is it? Oh my God. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. We are rolling. We are going so fast. That is so fun, but so intense. Did we win? Oh, please, hold to.
Of course.
But when it was basically just me against Brandel, against Daniel, against Sean, our spouses, because Steven was kind of like, it's too much for me. So I was like, I'll take the lead. Yeah. We are like going. When I tell you the like tension that Monopoly brought into that little kitchen was so palpable that I am like breathing a little bit. That's why I had to take my sleeping medication, because I was like, ooh, Papa, this has been a lot. And so, anyways, that was a lot of the cabin experience, just like trauma. I think we said like the cabin was brought to you by the word trauma. I posted, we almost didn't survive the cabin. And when I posted a picture, people were like, haha. And I was like, oh no, I'm not even being like funny. I meant we almost survived. So, and then the other part of the break that I do want to like share about that is really important is Beauty and the Beast at Hale.
We saw that too. Did I talk about it on the podcast?
I don't think so. Maybe you did.
I did, because I did joke that she is more talented than Brad, and I'm so sorry for that.
Oh yeah, well, Brad would probably agree. She was Shay Robbins. She's the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday cast, and then I'm sure she fills in where they can, because
and I'm sure the other girl is
phenomenal too.
Well. But
she was so quintessentially Belle. She was like the embodiment of a live action.
She is you.
She was phenomenal. She was endearing. Her talent, her vocals, incredible. The acting, incredible. Preston Yates, who played Gaston, similarly, he's a friend of ours. He was phenomenal. Our Lumiere was the director. He was standing in. I
didn't know that.
He was phenomenal.
Okay.
The costumes, the set, I mean, everything is just so absolutely, if you can, it's playing until the end of this month.
Oh, it's so good.
We're going again on the 23rd with Zions Bank, which we're really excited. Normally I'm kind of like, oh, seeing it a second time. Oh, God,
no,
okay.
That show is
good.
This
is a castle emerges from the floor and the ceiling.
I went with my family, and Morgan was sitting next to me. And there is a part where wolves come down through the audience. She was not expecting it, and nor was she on the aisle. So it shouldn't have scared her the way that it did. But
they are a little freaky because they have white or red glowing eyes.
Like as a child, that would have scared me as a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
But the wolves jumped down. Morgan jumps out of her seat, so much so that the lady next to us starts laughing at Morgan. Like,
you're like, what the heck?
and like later, I'm like, hey Morgan, the wolves are gonna come back again. So just like she was like, oh, the wolves. I'm like, okay. By the way, she's 14.
Yeah. No, get it, Slay Queen. The other part, we took Brandel and Dario and Steven's grandmother, Liesel, who we just love so much. She's the sort of person who's wearing like a pantsuit always. You know, she's fit. She could still do the splits. Like she's like 90 something. Yeah. She's there. She goes, oh, you guys, touches our faces. This was the most beautiful production of any play I've ever been to in my whole life. And if that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is.
No, it really is. That
it has the Grandma Liesel seal of approval.
Well,
Get
if
it,
grandma
girl.
likes it. I mean, Hale Center is like pretty much the demographic is grandmas.
So do you really think that lady should have been able to cut me at the restaurant? I just saw my note about old women.
No, absolutely not.
But
that
just
was
calling
crazy.
her disgusting is probably
to call
like...
her disgusting.
Well, I said it was just... I didn't say you were disgusting. I just said disgusting. Like lying about it to get...
That was disgusting. Or
I didn't say you were.
You looked her up and down and said disgusting.
Yeah. Let me do it to you and you see how that lands. Disgusting.
No,
does that make you feel like I'm saying what you did was disgusting? No, it really does feel like you're disgusting.
You think I'm a...
Okay. To that lady,
She listens for sure.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't imagine she listens or she would have recognized me.
Yeah.
So I don't care, actually. I'm okay with that. That's the energy I'm going into 2025 with. Wait till you hear my rant. Okay. Oh, it's so funny. Also, I watched the Keaton Thompson, Kevin Hart 2024 Year in Review. It's on Peacock. There is something about watching comedians making other comedians laugh and then one-upping each other that you just feel like you're just like, totally. And I'm in the car watching it, obviously, because I was doing errands.
It's kind of like when we do our podcast.
And like friends that are like riffing with us, like, no. I'm like, right, a little
you're
different.
Trying. I love
some
that
can, some really do, but some don't. Yeah. Okay, I have a couple 3GBs. No, you do yours because I've been sharing my thing.
I'll do mine first. Yes. Okay.
I'll help you because I have a bunch.
Let me just start with season 2 of Shrinking.
I have not watched it yet.
No.
Is it done? Is it all current?
Yes, it's all done.
Because I was waiting for that.
I firmly stand in the belief that, like, I know that Harrison Ford has played some iconic roles. Yeah. The role that he was meant to play, that he was, dare I say, born to play, is Paul.
Okay, I cannot wait. I'm going to go home and start watching it.
Turn off the podcast and go watch Shrinking.
Oh, wait, please don't, because we need to get the view count needs to go all the way to the end or 80% of the episode.
Up to like the first few episodes, I will say, is more just like we're trying to sort out what happened last season.
Right.
But then, like, I would say episode 3 or 4 on, it gets so good. I was crying every episode. I was laughing every episode. The final episode, like, I'm outing Traven and I right now. Traven was sitting in a separate chair.
Not a spoiler.
No, it's not a spoiler. Okay. Traven was sitting in a separate chair, and it was so beautiful and well done. We are both sobbing. Traven gets out of the chair and comes sit by me so we can watch the last 10 minutes together. Oh my gosh, sobbing into each other's arms.
I need to write Steven right now and just...
I'm literally telling you, this is the greatest show that's ever been invented. The way that I'm like, I don't have this problem, but some of you need to discover empathy, and you should start with Shrinking. Like, it is genuinely the best television ever written. I genuinely could go on and on and on.
I literally just wrote him, I was like, are you current on Shrinking season 1? If not, get current by the time I get home.
It's so good. Okay. Secondly, I read a book called The Wedding People, and cannot recommend enough. I listened to the audiobook. I actually almost stopped reading it because I don't want to spoil it, but I thought it was going to go a certain direction, and I don't like that direction in books, so I did not want to keep reading. But a ton of people had it on like their 5-star reads from 2024, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll keep reading. So funny, so clever, a perfect read for the new year, because it really just ends up a lot being about, like, you can change whenever you want to. You can be a different person whenever you want to. You can reinvent yourself. You can choose different paths. Like, and it's funny. There was a few things that made me laugh out loud. And like usually in books, I'm like, oh, but like to make me laugh out loud while also like feeling things very deeply, gorgeous, no notes.
Okay.
We watched Arcane.
Yeah.
We watched Arcane season 2.
What's that
Arcane?
on? No, what's that?
Oh,
Isn't Arcane cartoon?
yes.
Okay, and what is it on?
Think
Is
it's
it
on
Paramount?
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Okay.
Think it's very similar to the Into the Spider-Verse movies, where it is an animated show unlike any other. You will not like.
Okay.
And it is based off of a video game. So I think that makes it hard to grasp at first for people getting into it.
Do you need to have played the video game, or you can still appreciate it?
No, I think it's like Easter eggs if you've played the video game.
Okay.
It's a little dark. I wouldn't watch it with kids. But the art style, the innovation, the graphics, the storyline, the plot development, the character development, absolutely perfect. And then the last episode of season 2, I was like, meh. Like, I'm like, you almost nailed it. It was almost perfect. So maybe just like close your laptop and don't finish the season. Like get all the way up to the last episode and then just don't watch the last episode and save yourself the grief. Okay. But literally the entire show is actual perfection. Okay. It's so good.
Okay. Good.
So you should watch it too because I know you like Into the Spider-Verse.
I really did. I love that kind of animation. That is not it's not Pixar animation. To me, it's like I really loved the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that was animated. That has like it feels very much like, because did you know I actually really liked comic books growing up? I didn't have a ton because I had friends, but I had a lot
because I wasn't a weirdo.
And then when Oliver was born, R.I.P. to his nursery, didn't get that in the divorce, but I had made, despite having made all of it, I made like the hanging mobile was paper airplanes made out of comic books. And then his name I had cut out like foam board and it was comic books. And then we had comic book heroes. Like it was very comic book coded. Because I really like comic books, so I'm gonna add that to my.
Arcane is incredible,
which is good because I kind of feel like a lot of shows are not coming back. I know Bravo's coming back this week, but a lot like Matlock's not coming back. Like a lot of Paramount Plus shows aren't coming back to the end of January.
No, you should watch Arcane. Okay. Well, you should watch Arcane season 2 first.
Yes.
Then you should watch Arcane, and then my other ones were Frieda McFadden books.
Well, and you had Cooking Class Wars.
Oh, Cooking Class Wars is a Korean cooking show.
Yes, I was going to say I've seen it on Netflix.
So good.
The concept is genius. Yep. I have only seen the first couple episodes, so I don't know how it goes.
Yep.
But the concept being they had 100 chefs come in and they said, "Okay, you got
like talented chefs and 50 like
up and coming
Michelin star
and then the
real
deals.
Chefs."
Yes, and so what they did was they said like there's 20 spots available for the competition
show. It goes like cut in half. Teams, like
no. What I'm saying is, at the very beginning, though, if I'm thinking of the same one, they said, "Okay, we're going to put an hour or 2 hours on the clock. You get as much time as of those 2 hours to make your dish. When you're ready, you hit the little thing, and the judges will come over, and they will decide if you're one of the top 20 or not.
Yep.
So if the 20 fills and you're still cooking, you're just out.
Yes.
But you don't want to go too early because you want to present the very best dish." That to me is a genius way to really thin the herd. Like when they do MasterChef and it's like, we bring in 100 people, but we're going to, how do you really do that?
No, this is a cool way of seeing it. It's a cooking show, but there's so much personal strategy that it's like watching
it's
Top
a competition show.
Yeah, it's a competition show. That's what I think is smart. It's a cooking show.
Yes.
But it's also an innovative strategy cooking show. Like the judges were also very harsh, but very likable.
Yeah. And I recognized a couple of them from Turning Table.
Top Chef. One of them was on Top Chef.
Top Chef, but I'm thinking was Chef's Table.
Chef's Table, yes.
And then one was on that one that it was like cooking from different countries from around the world that Netflix did.
It's just very fun. You can watch it with the family. I don't think they're swearing. And it's just good TV. You also don't need to like pay super close attention. It just is lovely and wonderful. And then my last one were a couple Frieda McFadden books that I read. The Boyfriend, and then I read the second Housemaid book.
Yes. How'd you think? Because I saw a thing about with like Amanda Seyfried on.
Yes, that
they're
movie
doing
is coming
Housemaid
out. It's
is
very
coming out, and then they were all talking about Housemaid 2, the sequel.
Yes, I just read the sequel. It is very good. Frieda McFadden books are very digestible thriller books.
Cool.
So if I like reading Frieda McFadden books as a palate cleanser.
Okay.
Because so often you can get through them in like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, cool.
If you just want to like
if you need a break.
If you're reading something like Iron Flame or like a high fantasy book.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I was just going to say, how are you so pumped for Onyx Storm?
Yes and no. I didn't love Iron Flame a lot.
Okay.
And so a little bit.
I'm not finished with it, so don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it just, I was like, this doesn't even feel like the same characters. And sometimes like there was a lot of complaining. Anyway, so I'm excited, but I'm like cautiously optimistic.
Sure.
So yeah, those are the ones that I read. There's also a couple Frieda McFadden books coming out soon. Again, just very digestible thrillers, and they're on Kindle Unlimited for free. So,
which I live, laugh, love. I have a question. I was talking to Carissa, my sister-in-law, and she's a big Kindle girly.
Yeah.
Do you just do the Kindle app, or do you have an actual Kindle?
No, I have a Kindle.
Why Kindle instead of the app? Just accessibility?
No, so I'll do the app. I don't love reading on my phone. The brightness bothers me. I don't know why.
Okay, so it's really just a visual thing.
Yeah, visually
okay,
reading on a
because I actually
Kindle.
don't like the gray of the Kindle.
So you can like adjust the brightness and stuff on it, but it's more like I feel the eye strain when I'm reading on my phone. And I think most of it is like the bright white of the pages, and you can't really adjust that on your phone like it does on the Kindle.
Got it. Okay.
And Kindles used to just be like a black and gray, like sepia tone. Now there's a lot more like evolution to it, or there's colored ones.
Okay, cool.
And so, but like the accessibility of having all of them available to me, and like the other thing too, when you're, maybe this is like a little psychologically of it too, when I'm on my phone, there's so much more availability for distractions, like a notification coming in, or me being like, oh, I need to order something, and I'm just gonna exit out of the app and like go and do something, versus like if I'm holding my Kindle, I know that I'm focused on reading, and that's like what I want it to be. I want it to be more intentional.
Okay, I'm contemplating a Kindle, but my word of 2025 is budget. I'm trying to budget like my time better. I'm budgeting my finances better. I'm budgeting like my calorie intake. Like I just think budget's like a good word for me to be. It's like kind of like boundaried, really. Anyway,
balance.
Balance. I think I've contemplated like balance, budget, and boundary as all kind of like similar vibes. I was talking to Stephen about it earlier this week. And so I'm really trying. One of the things that I read in one of these books that were kind of like helping just like change and taking more control was the concept of like, hey, treating yourself to things, but like depriving the treats of things that you don't need. So like getting a Kindle and being like, okay, I'm going to make this a goal and to treat them as rewards or things, instead of just like, oh, okay, well, because normally I'm just like, oh, if I just want that, I'm just going to buy it.
Yeah, if I want it, I'll get it.
And now to be like, oh, that'd be a really good thing to get. I'm going to put that into a list of things that when I...
Yeah, or even like, I want to get a Kindle, but I want to prove to myself that a Kindle is worth it. So I'm going to read 3 books in January to go, okay, I actually am enjoying reading. Right. And I want to invest more in the hobby.
And this isn't just going to be a money dump.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the things I want to share. Tulsa King on Paramount Plus.
Never even
Taylor
heard of it.
Sheridan, who did Yellowstone, whatever. It's what he has said is his favorite series that he's created. Okay. Sylvester Stallone plays a mob guy,
gangster. Can you understand what he's saying? The first time I watched Rocky as an adult, I was like, what do you mean?
Did he get hit in the head too many times? Or like what happened
was like,
at
turn on the
practice?
subtitles. What do you mean?
No, so he's like a New York guy. He serves 25 years because he won't rat on his gang. Yeah. On his
Snitches
mob.
get stitches.
But then they basically extricate him and then exile him to Oklahoma to like start up operations. And so
Okay.
he becomes the Tulsa King. Phenomenal. Like moving and like, ooh, like the cacophony of emotions. Taylor Sheridan knows how to do a show. I kid you not. So that's great. That's on Paramount Plus. Laid. On
I've
Peacock.
seen things a lot about that.
She is, so it's the actress from Everything Everywhere All at Once, the daughter
love her.
that plays opposite Michelle Yeoh. I don't know her name, but the concept being the men that she's had sex with start dying.
Oh.
In this order of when she had sex with them.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to stop it because one, she had sex with her friend's boyfriend. And two, she really likes this guy, but she doesn't want to basically kill him.
Yeah.
It is so hilarious. It is really moving. She's like a disaster. Her friend is one of the actresses from Girls who I really loved. Like it's really, really, really well done. Definitely not for kids. Neither of these two things have been for kids. These have been things I've been watching when my kids have gone to sleep. Fortune Feimster's stand-up on
She's funny.
Netflix.
I like her.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Same with Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze.
Bargatze.
So funny.
I watched his comedy specials.
Nate Bargatze is a comedian that can make me laugh out loud every time.
Literally. Same with Fortune. Fortune, I was rewinding and showing Steven different bits. And then I was like, really, really good comedians to me have that really beautiful bring back where they can bring you back, take you back to different things that you don't see coming.
Unexpected jokes.
Yes.
Like where they both of them take a joke in a different direction than you're expecting.
Agreed.
And that's so funny every time.
And it's so genius to me. It's like that's caliber of you deserve having a special.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of kind of shows, the Beyonce Bowl that is on Netflix, and then her performance. What I will say, now I'm very conflicted about Beyonce, and I don't want to start a fight, so we're reserving all judgment until all the facts of the P. Diddy case are adjudicated.
Yeah.
And if she's guilty, she goes down.
Yeah.
Period.
No, period.
But innocent till proven guilty, that is the system that I have dedicated my professional life to upholding.
Yep.
So I am very much on that camp. Be that as it may, phenomenal.
Yeah, no,
I mean, Blue Ivy next
talent
to
for
her,
days.
the dancing, obviously
She
it's
is
all
an
recorded. She wasn't even trying to
entertainer.
fake that she was singing some of it live.
Yeah, no.
It's fine. Stunning. And did I see that Kendrick Lamar is doing the halftime show? Is that what I've seen? I don't love that they're calling it the Beyonce Bowl because I do feel like we need to treat the Super Bowl halftime shows. I don't want it to be, we have the Super Bowl halftime show and then we have this show and then Netflix does their and then Amazon does their competitor. Like, I just want it to be the one.
Yep.
Be that as it may, it was excellent. It's an excellent watch because it's very, very short. If you're just like, I got to do an errand, I got to do cleaning, and then I'm going to take a break and watch the Beyonce
Also, like,
Bowl.
Beyonce is like going to the symphony. It will inspire you.
You fully.
Because you'll just be like, I'm not doing enough.
Mr. Beast's reality competition show on Amazon Prime. It's free if you have Amazon
Games
Prime.
one?
No. Mr. Beast. It's kind of like Squid Games, but
He's
it's him
quite
doing
controversial recently, though.
I understand that, and I'm not speaking similarly in the same vein as Beyonce until things are proven.
Yeah, totally.
I'm reserving judgment, but it is the most watched TV show in the most number of countries right now. Is his competition show on Amazon?
No, he knows how to put.
So it's a concept, and he's a sensational
also, isn't
guy.
he not really the controversy? He's controversy adjacent.
He's controversy adjacent.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last kind of thing that I've loved is Mario Party Jamboree, the new Switch game. So Steven and I have been playing it, and there is something about if you have
I love Mario
if you
Party.
have Nintendo for your kids, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, I don't care. Have a date night with your person to play games on that you just
Trev
love.
and I love playing video games
Doing
together.
Monopoly
It's so
or
illusory.
doing
Jamboree
or Mario Kart or playing a couple of those games where it's just Steven and I in the basement. That was one of like my favorite memories of December was we played Mario Kart or Mario Party Jamboree, and it was just the light was on, the little village, the Christmas tree lights were on, the Christmas village light was on. We had snacks. We were in the basement with our little Lolas. Like that was a really, really fun.
Traven and I used to play Halo together, and it's like some of my fondest memories in our marriage.
Yeah, I think there are things like that. I also love Molly and Matt. We were over at their house and they like do puzzles together, and they had a big puzzle board and they're like in a workout room. And there was just something where I'm like, I love couples that do couple things together that are kind of like, oh, what? There's no rules.
Yeah.
I just think that's, if you guys really love that, and having shared experiences is one of my favorite things in the world. And so I really, really loved that. Okay. We just have a little bit of stories because this was mostly meant to be a catch up, and then getting us kind of a soft launch back into 2025.
Yeah.
Obviously, the names on everyone's lips right now, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. And so we've got some advice for them on how to handle things. But to recap the controversy or what's happening right now.
Yeah.
It ends with us, which I actually feel very informed because I
read the book and
read the book and I watched the movie 3 days before Blake Lively launched the lawsuit.
Yes.
So because she started the lawsuit. And so going back though, when the film released in August or September, during press, Justin Baldoni was not present at all with Blake Lively.
It was fishy. Everybody
it's very
knew it was
fishy. Jenny Slate and Colleen Hoover all unfollowed Justin Baldoni along with Blake Lively. It was very much like lines drawn in the sand. And it seemed like everybody against Justin Baldoni. And then when Justin Baldoni ended up doing press, he had a very, very, very different spin on the press, which now we understand from the lawsuit why, from the two different lawsuits. Yes. And so long story long, it was very uncomfortable. The story, trigger warning, has domestic violence that's like fairly replete. The movie, sorry. The book, which is based on, the movie is based on. And there's some of the domestic violence things, again, if you have small ears in the car, let's just be cognizant, maybe skip a couple of minutes. Yeah. But a lot of it has to do with some sexual violence, domestic sexual violence. And Blake Lively ends up bringing a lawsuit for a significant amount of money. I think it's like $250 million against Justin Baldoni and his production company, a bunch of other kind of like ancillary figures that are all arguably culpable, but it really was directed at Justin Baldoni, alleging sexual harassment, hostile work environment, some retaliation, because what she claims is that there was a coordinated effort from a PR crisis management team that that Justin brought in at kind of the end, because this movie was filmed in 2 phases. The first phase prior to the writer's strike, and then when they came back from the writer's strike, Blake Lively had, along with Ryan Reynolds, crafted a No, you're true. I'm trying to be factually accurate.
You're being very factually accurate, and
neutral.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm setting the stage of just the facts.
An amazing job, because.
But then we're going to talk about our opinion on it. So with the help of Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively and her management company had an agreement that Justin Baldoni had to sign that put a lot more restrictions that definitely read like there was trouble on set.
Yes.
Specifically that Justin Baldoni was doing inappropriate things like showing pornographic images to Blake Lively, of different women going into her trailer when she was changing, when she was exposed, violating the requirements of having a intimacy coordinator there who governs sort of like these sorts of very, very intimate scenes, that he would go off script and he would engage in acts that were physical and sometimes sexual that were not in the script, that he was kind of getting into the mood for, or trying to create into that dynamic. So she brought a suit against that. And as part of that suit, there is, because I have read the 2 complaints.
Yes.
Because I love this sort of stuff.
I love. Complaint.
There's 2
the Blake Lively one.
Yes. And then I read Justin's counter suit.
We now have to touch on Justin.
Well, I want to first go into the only other thing that I think is relevant from Blake's complaint are text messages from the crisis management PR team and Justin Baldoni's team.
Between each other and Justin.
Baldoni talking about stories that have been planted or stories that they were peddling more about Blake Lively being like a monster on set and not really being workable.
All of those interviews that resurfaced.
Yes. And so it was clear from what Blake had filed that there was a coordinated effort on behalf of Justin Baldoni's management team and the crisis management team to negatively portray her in anticipation of Blake potentially negatively portraying Justin Baldoni.
Also, like how she was going through press during the launching of the movie, etc.
And as part of the crisis management team, there were talking points that they were allowed to do during press. So they said, we're going to have to spin so that the focus will not be on domestic violence, but it'll be kind of on like the survivor and women supporting women, and that instead of it being Justin Baldoni represents like the disgusting villainous guy who is way worse in the book, for the record.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't also know this other nuance, not only is Justin Baldoni the lead opposite Blake Lively, he was also the director.
And he purchased
the rights
to the book.
His production company did
8 years ago.
Right. So this is something that, and he has a history of being a very, very big, what he has curated, it seems, what Blake would allege, curated an image of being a ultra feminist, definitely like someone who's a part of the Me Too movement.
On projects that highlight something, and then he emphasizes that in production and
in charitable work and in his own personal affiliations.
Yeah.
So when we got Blake's suit, it was right before Christmas. It was shocking.
No,
because there were screenshots, proof, timeline, everything. And then Justin Baldoni countersued.
Yes.
And his lawyer was doing press on that. And the countersuit alleges a very, very different story.
Yes.
That says the majority of the things that Blake's talking about were absolutely taken out of context. And then some fairly convincing, in my mind, statements, emails, communications, text messages, receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything. Kind of providing a different lens in which Blake Lively was extremely entitled, that she was very difficult to work with, that she was trying to take over basically the rights, that Ryan was rewriting parts of this, that in an attempt to undermine Justin Baldoni
editing.
Out of the final
she took over
work
wardrobe,
that she took over wardrobe, that was
really
very
badly critiqued during the filming,
and that she for example, there was communication where he had said, I don't think this wardrobe choice makes sense because Lily, who is the character, wouldn't be wearing $5,000 shoes, and so even though it may be going with the aesthetic,
and not only did she keep them in the movie, there's a shot
of them.
The boots.
Yes, that is very much like trying to have it very much come across like Lily also came from a lot of money, which in the book she didn't. No. And that's part of why the disparity in the financial backing of the lead of Lily and Ryle. That is also kind of the abuse, that's part of a power dynamic. And so he was saying, look, we have to maintain the power dynamic disparity here because that is another element of domestic violence. He says, look, that letter that Blake had me sign, the contract that Blake and Ryan had me sign, we were already doing. So of course I agreed to those things because we already had an intimacy coordinator. I already was following those things, and she had basically held hostage the continuation of the project if he didn't sign it. So he said, look, I signed it because I wasn't doing anything wrong. I had no problem with those, but it wasn't because they were necessary. I signed it because it was the only thing necessary was her coming back on set.
Yeah.
The PR team also came out and said, look, we don't know, which is a little nonsense because everybody knows that you issue subpoenas to the institutions. That's how you get the text messages. You don't issue a subpoena to the person so that they can curate what text messages they give you. But she tried alluding, this is before Justin's suit, she tried alluding to the idea that somehow Blake had stolen her private text messages and emails to try to like demonize Blake further, which she then came out saying this is another part of the coordinated thing. And so then he countersued her.
I thought he countersued New York Times, and he is going to countersue Blake.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't countersue. So how it works is,
or I thought he just I thought he sued the New York Times,
No, he
And then I
countersued Blake
thought he
Lively.
is going to sue Blake Lively.
So
Because it was like the New York Times is
yes,
for disparaging.
yes, you're right. And that because the New York Times published the article.
Yeah.
And so he's saying that's defamation, which means New York Times has to prove that it's true. That's how the burden shifts in those sorts of tortious
But then
claims.
it's also being said that he will
obviously
Blake
countersue Blake Lively. So he had, in response, I guess the counter was a suit against New York Times.
Okay. One interesting point that I would also like to bring up, she talked about how he only decided to switch to promoting the movie about domestic violence in the end to save his personal
kind of brand, because he would be the face of the domestic violence.
In his contract, he had put in that proceeds will go to domestic violence.
Yeah.
It was a part of the marketing strategy that he initially put out. It was the first contract signed. Now, something that I will add additionally in book drama knowledge.
Yes.
Colleen Hoover has had a history of, writing these books that have very traumatic things written in them and then promoting them in a way like it's just like a cute little romance novel.
Right.
She released a It Ends With Us coloring book.
Okay.
A few years ago. And it was not well received because they're like, so what are we going to color her getting pushed down the stairs?
Right.
Like, so historically, Colleen Hoover is putting flowers on the covers of her books about domestic violence.
Right.
So I think that does add another layer of why Colleen Hoover would also be like aligning herself with Blake. Ultimately, I feel like probably all of it is true.
I was just going
sides.
to say, where do you land? Because I feel like they both are telling the truth.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
how I feel. I feel Blake is entitled.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she was probably problematic.
Yeah, but historically people have problems with her on sets. And have come out
now
and said
there's
that in
resurfaced interviews, like when she was doing A Simple Favor, and she's doing
Gossip
a lot of press
Girl.
with Anna Kendrick, and it's very uncomfortable, and Blake is a little condescending and mean to these reporters. Like, I think that part of it is
none of
true.
the Gossip Girl cast talks to
Blake Lively because she was difficult. Like, I get that. Does that mean you get to be sexually assaulted or harassed or have an unsafe work environment?
Exactly.
Absolutely not, which is where I think Justin's side is true as well.
Yeah.
That she was really difficult, that he wasn't doing anything. I do think that Justin Baldoni is a gorgeous guy who probably has lived a life where nobody says no to him of the opposite sex, and just being thrilled to get to be playing intimate with him. And so he probably has a bit of an ego that absolutely goes unchecked. Sure. And if I'm Ryan Reynolds and I know that my wife is feeling uncomfortable with the lead and the director of a film, I am stepping in and I'm saying absolutely not.
That's actually where I do feel annoyed.
You feel annoyed to Ryan or about Ryan?
About Ryan.
Yeah.
And admittedly, like,
what if he's not Ryan Reynolds? What if he's just a normal husband who is upset?
I have a different perspective about this as a woman, I will say.
Okay.
If somebody is mean to me at work and Traven goes in and yells at them, that does not help me.
Sure.
It undercuts and undermines me.
Particularly because Blake Lively was an executive producer of the film. So she was an executive there. Ryan Reynolds was not. She is an executive producer
with just as much star quality as him. And the power dynamics were not off in so much that you felt like you could control everything else.
But I feel like the difference is
on set,
she brought him in. Blake brought Ryan in.
Yes.
Because she felt uncomfortable.
Yes. But
so if Ryan was asserting himself, I would be on the same page with you of like, if Traven walked into your work.
Well, he stormed the set after he found out
about
that Justin consulted a stunt coordinator because he has really bad back issues and asked about like lifting Blake Lively for a scene, which again, if I heard that about my scene partner, I would be very offended. But if I was also the person with back problems, I understand that. Like,
both can be true.
This is why I'm like, it's all true probably.
Yeah.
It's all true.
Well, the number one thing I think is true is they're tanking both of their careers.
Oh,
I do not think they will recover. This will Amber Heard both of them.
Yep.
I genuinely believe that because even if we're
the only way I think that I don't think Blake Lively will come out unscathed. Period.
No, she hasn't already.
And she was winning until the proofs timeline of him. Mm-hmm. And now everybody's just going, I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, it's almost like it got too messy. Now, where I fall on the Ryan Reynolds of it all,
yes,
is do I think Blake was using Ryan inappropriately there because he is a Hollywood darling?
It's not so much that I think it was inappropriate. I think
I think that Blake brought him in inappropriately.
Yeah.
Do I think that, yes, if it was a normal husband, yeah, you're probably brought in. That's what I was asking. If I was Blake's husband,
yeah.
First off, we wouldn't have children. Yeah. There'd be some problems there. But if I was his husband, if I were her husband and like something went sideways, and this has happened sometimes with Steven, where like something caustic or bad happens and then I get involved and he's like, I kind of wish you didn't do that. But I think that there's something to be said about like protector, whatever. But Ryan Reynolds and what Justin Baldoni has accused him of was an effort by Blake and Ryan together to embarrass and shame Justin in front of production and crew and the executives and the studio. A power move to be like, no, we're now in charge. We're the captains
Which
now.
is why it's like she comes out and says, Ryan actually wrote the scene that everybody loves.
Right. And I think that is where I don't love it, is because he had too much cachet.
Now,
I get the human side of protecting your spouse.
Come on a set or come to my workplace and yell at somebody who was mean to me, I love him so much.
Yeah, no. Like
but it doesn't.
But if you asked him for it and it didn't help you, that's on you.
Yes.
And I think Blake asked for it.
But if he did it out of,
if he did it independently,
and I'm gonna go in and defend you.
Yes.
No.
That backfired.
No.
I think so too.
No, and I think honestly, and this is why it's like even hard to talk about it. There's too much information. Like, I would like to hold up a banner that says, I would like to know less about you. Like,
yeah, and this is actually really good.
Put me back behind the PR
This
veil.
is a good.
I don't want to be involved.
This is a good topic, actually, because I don't know if you saw Bronwyn and Lisa Barlow are fighting, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and sharing texts. And people are saying, should you share texts publicly with a quote unquote friend and or like Blake and Justin? And here's why I think yes. I think everything is fair game. So people are like, oh, ick factor. I can't believe Bronwyn's sharing text messages. Baby cakes. If there's a need to prove a case and you bring the proof,
I will say
that's a problem.
Yes. But if we are talking crap in text and you share that information with that person.
Oh, no. That's not what I'm saying.
That's
like, gross. That's violating trust.
Yeah.
But if you and I are having a thing, and if I, like on the Bronwyn and Lisa, Bronwyn's reaching out to her, babes, I'm so sorry. I just saw another article got reached about you. I'm so sorry. Hey, I heard Jack came home from his mission. How is he doing? How are you doing?
Yes.
And then if Lisa goes on and she's interacting with, and if you're interacting with me.
To prove a point without anything incriminating in there.
Fully. That's what I think Bronwyn did. I think Bronwyn was saying, hey, I've been a very good friend to you. When the cameras weren't rolling, here are all the times where I was reaching out to you. And so she has all those screenshots.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that it makes you, once you do that, however, you're entitled to do that. But once you've crossed that Rubicon, you're out. I will never text you the same. Yeah. That's how but I'm glad I have it because now we know the actual truth. Yeah. And I'm a Lisa stan, but she looks bad.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Bronwyn fan. She looks good. She proved her point in my mind. But this is the same with Justin and Blake. Now we can't ever go back. Meaning, you can't unread what people wrote in real time.
Literally, the only thing I don't think Blake Lively will come out unscathed. I think Justin could, if he proves enough.
Yeah.
That
because he didn't start the war.
He was retaliating.
If what Blake is saying is, hey, and that's why I feel like the timing of it is sus. Because if you thought that you were having a lot of the PR people were coming against you, you knew that pretty early on. Yeah. You knew that in August. To wait until December, the week before Thanksgiving, and to file the lawsuit, when you kind of know the stories are dead, everyone's going to pick it up.
Yep.
You strategically did it at this time.
But this is where I'm like, this is not even so much about them anymore. It's about PR.
Agreed. They're both playing a PR battle.
Yeah.
It's the PR houses that are like, what do you mean? We didn't crisis management anything. And they're like, we know the business. We know you did. They're like, prove it.
I think like there will be NYU classes, like Harvard business or law school will study these cases.
Agreed. It's like, very much.
You can't graduate in PR without
an Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, a Blake Lively, a Jason Baldoni. I mean, those are the they did that to themselves.
And so it's so much now just public opinion.
Yeah, like, and my advice is do not do a movie for a while.
Yep. Lay low.
You gotta lay low, because look what happened with Amber Heard. Then she came out with Aquaman 3 or 7 or whatever number it was. And like nobody went to it. It tanked because she was persona non grata and nobody wanted to support that. Blake, know that you're radioactive. Justin, know that you're radioactive. Do not do anything for a little bit.
Yep.
Just take a beat. Sell your hair care, whatever. Do any charity
but that's
work.
like another point of a lot of people are like, why did you launch your hair care in the middle of launching this movie?
When you know you're the face of it.
But this is where I think she actually can't recover. And I think that Justin Baldoni could.
I do think Justin Baldoni can recover, because the majority of the comments I'm seeing now, the public seems to be on Justin's side more.
We know that they were paying bots to make comments. And so like,
we also know as well that the people who you're not paying are Colleen Hoover and Jenny Slate and the other people on the show that have aligned themselves with Blake, which is what makes it more complicated.
That was one of the things I said to you when Blake Lively's lawsuit came out, and to a lot of friends when they asked me about it. I said, no women seem to be on his side, and that makes me nervous.
Concerned. Agreed.
But Blake Lively was a powerful woman on that set, and
Colleen Hoover doesn't need women. Colleen Hoover to me is the biggest. She doesn't lose anything if she were to be honest, because Justin Baldoni is the one that bought the rights. So I don't think she wants to be creating conflict.
She gets historically star power when she is next to, because listen, Colleen Hoover outsold the Bible a couple years ago, like it with her books. She is a crazy star, but she is not a celebrity. And I think she wants to be a celebrity. And I think that that's why it is helpful to her and other people to align with Blake Lively. Now, again, if I was friends with Blake Lively on set and she was telling me some of the things she alleged, I too would not be friends with Blake Lively.
Yeah, that is kind of an interesting...
Or with Justin Baldoni.
Yeah, agreed.
I think mostly, and this is not my advice to them, but more of the advice to our people listening, trust nothing.
Yes.
Like, everything that comes out, trust nothing. If you want to, get on a podcast and talk about it with your friends, totally. But know that, everything you're being told or publicized from now on is curated.
Yeah, and everything we have been being told, it is a little bit seeing behind the curtain, little bit sort of Aussie.
You should now know this about any celebrity information you receive.
Agreed. Bottom line, to wrap up the Justin Baldoni. Oh, that's what I was saying. We can't believe everything, because I was thinking about Wizard of Oz. And I was thinking that is why Elphaba's so mad, is because she's like, hang on, I see it now. And then she's like, okay, I have to take this into my own hands. I have to be in charge.
We need to do the same thing.
We need to do the same thing in
there
media,
is, public
consumption.
Takedowns, blah, blah. Trust nothing.
Yes.
Please use critical thinking is what I would like to. That would be my 2025. Please use your critical thinking skills.
Yes. Be careful of bandwagons. Because if you're going to quickly hop on them, you're going to probably quickly hop off them, and they're
because I was messaging a ton of people know what?
You and me. We were like down with Justin, and then we were
wow, this is so scary. And then the Justin's crickets.
Fully.
The same people didn't message me about it. Because now we're all like, oh, because it gives you the feeling of oh, I look dumb. Yeah,
fully.
But you don't look dumb. You are being manipulated.
I know.
Welcome. Please use your brains.
Please, just everybody brain it up.
And now let's talk about something brainless.
Do you want to talk about the pigeon?
Yeah.
Tell the story.
Okay. Somebody caught a video. I think this is so funny and also disturbing.
The video is insane. I just pulled it up so it could.
Caught on tape a falafel cart guy capturing a pigeon and then taking said pigeon back into his falafel cart.
And the pigeon he catches with a plastic bag.
Yes. So one would surmise
that we are eating
pigeon.
Yeah. So here's my advice. Cook at home.
Yeah. But also,
like, if you're going to get a pigeon, just cook it at home.
If he took it into a hot dog cart, I would be like, yeah, there's probably pigeon in hot dogs. What do you mean?
That makes me sad. If someone knows the owner of J-Dogs, can you have them call us?
No, that's the only J-Dogs are different because those are bratwursts. Like those.
That's like actually curated
like
sausage.
Quality,
that's
it's curated sausage meat.
I mean, an Oscar Mayer.
I mean, unless it's like just their traditional like beef dog that you don't know what's in that beef dog.
Dog, that's not beef. That's what I feel like you're saying.
No, people are like, when you watch the videos of how hot dogs are made, I'm like, just let me eat a Costco hot dog. Like, let me enjoy my life.
I know. God, I love Costco so much.
And they're switching
general
to Coke
advice,
products.
Be very, very, very careful. Don't go to, what's that restaurant you
story.
said in Midvale? The one
Del
under
Barrio.
the bridge? The one underneath the bridge?
Yeah.
Del Barrio. So Del Barrio in his little grocery cart, don't get his tamales and don't get this guy's pigeon
go to
falafels.
Del Barrio. It's so good. I'm not slandering them. They're
the
delicious.
third story, I don't really have advice for this, so I was surprised why you put it on here, but it is such a curious thing that the donkey was based off of, Donkey, the character from Shrek, the donkey that the character was based off of has died.
Yeah,
at
my
age
advice, 30. I know that this is already the case because of somebody else who died. Lower the flags half-mast.
Who else died?
Jimmy Carter.
Oh, that's what you were referring.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're mad, if you're like President-elect Trump, who over the weekend or over this past week was saying he was disappointed that the flags will be half-mast for Jimmy Carter. If you're upset, just think it's not just for Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
it's not Jimmy Carter. This
Carter.
is for Donkey.
It's for Donkey.
Okay, great.
It's for Donkey.
That's the best advice, actually. If you're upset by something, lie to yourself so that you're not upset anymore.
Yeah, that's literally life.
Therapy.
That's literally what I'm.
That's a free session, you guys. You guys can Venmo us $20.
Yeah, so I'm also going to take into 2025 when tragic things happen. Just to me personally, I'm just going to start going half-mass.
Yeah, half-mass that thing.
Half-mass.
I just got a flag. Our one flag after we had a really, really windy thing. It all got ripped up, so I bought a new flag. I got it yesterday. I need to put it up. But I need to steam it. Did you get your
pride flag yet?
What?
The cute pride flag that I sent you.
You didn't send me a pride flag at my house?
No, I don't think I sent it to you. I
sent me a link.
Cardware Co. They have a very cute pride flag that isn't like. I'm so sorry, LGBTQI.
Yeah, Alphabet Mafia.
I
get her.
hate the pride flag.
Oh yeah, same. Taste
so
us. First off,
I have a very cute pride
flag. Is it
flag.
really made by gays? Because we're the taste.
Yeah, you know,
not great.
It's giving straight.
It's giving white man straight. It's giving white man straight decorated a Christmas tree.
It's giving cisgender.
Oh.
Like we did not get creative with those colors.
Yeah, totally.
It was just very. Anyway, I will send you a link to my cute pride flag.
Please do. Are you ready for my rant?
Yeah, banner trigger. Trigger.
Now
trigger,
this
trigger.
is the adult session.
Molly and Kevin, turn it off.
Mom
also,
and Dad,
Molly
Charlotte,
and Kevin
Oliver.
friends.
Code word is
Morgan,
trigger.
Stop listening.
No one listen. We're gonna be adults
Jessica,
now.
you can if you would like to hear swearing.
Here's some swears. Sorry, you guys. This is our annual swear
purge. For all
purge.
of you leaving, we love you. Have a great 2025.
Yeah.
For the rest of
Bye.
you.
What's up, motherfuckers? Where my real hoes at? What's up, sluts?
Where the sluts at?
Where them sluts at? Hey, girl. Okay, I have some things that I am fucking done with in 2024.
Please, go.
Catchy music.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm so fucking done of going to bed.
Please.
Oh, barf my brains out. Here's the problem with catchy music. I hate that I will get a fucking song stuck in my head.
Oh, yeah.
And then I am, what is this feel? I don't even care. I'm a wicked girly through and through. And I'm still like, if I hear that goddamn music.
Yeah.
I catchy music that gets under my skin. Also, TikTok sounds. Fuck them. I'm glad the band's going to happen in 14 days. Solely because I cannot handle.
I thought that dumpster was trying to extend it.
The Supreme Court, he's trying to create a deal, but the Supreme Court here is still hearing arguments, and the briefs got submitted. I just think it's so fucking dumb that people write such catchy music that it gets stuck in your head, and then you're just like walking around doing life. I just want shittier music. You know what won't get caught in your head? Fucking orchestral music. And that's what I'm bringing into 2025. I like
it. At least, I don't want my head filled with dark things.
It's not dark. Just to be like the soundtrack to Harry Potter, not fucking dark. Because when I'm not sitting I'm not going to the grocery store.
You don't want in the club. We all fam.
Steven the other day had said something, and we were talking about something. He's like, I'm just gonna be like, in the club, we all fam. He's like, did I use that right? And I was like, God, HSC, baby, no. So I'm just done with that. Mm-hmm. I'm done fucking cleaning my house.
Oh.
Every day?
Every day?
Every fucking
You're
day?
You're telling me I have to wake up every day and do this?
The same shit over and over again. And the problem is, I love my house.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it clean. I mean, I hate cleaning it. We have cleaners now that come every 10 days. I need them to live there.
Yeah.
The current condition of our stove is a war zone.
Oh, do you have a gas range?
Yes, we have a gas range. And so the shittiest part is that it right now looks terrible, but our cleaners come tomorrow. Oh. So I'm like, we're not paying them to do nothing. But I fucking hate having to clean the house.
No, the shit that gets into the grates. Oh. And what am I supposed to clean those cast iron grates with?
I will pull it off. I'll try to soak it. And then
grimy.
You're not supposed to
always grimy.
Yuck. Yuck.
I'm with you on this one.
Also, kitty litter. I get that we have animals that don't shit in our house, but they have just kitty litter. Cats. Some days, bitch, do not tempt me. Some days I'm just like,
when I leave your house with itchy eyes, sometimes
I'll leave. Ugh. I'll leave the door open to the front sometimes to air out, but I'm just hoping they bolt. I'm like, hey, I did put in catnip outside. Yeah. I was like, hey, cats,
please leave.
And the other thing that drives me nuts about cleaning, how shitty kids clean.
Oh.
My kids are pretty good cleaners, and still, I'm just like, thank you. Spray it right back down, vacuum. I fucking hate it. You know what I'm also not bringing into 2025? My fucking digestive system.
Oh.
I have reached the age where even last night at the symphony, I had to bolt so I did not shit my pants. It comes on so quickly now. I have had, and if you're like, oh, Chase,
you feel
go get that.
Then a cramp, and you're like, I got 4.
I have absolutely until my eye fully closes to get to a shitter, and I don't. I know people are gonna be like, oh, just be careful what you eat. No, that's fucking a lot.
Consider this no.
Yeah, and if they're like, oh, it's not a big deal, it is a big deal. I will get it. My stomach pains are so bad. I'm like, oh, you need to go to a doctor. I've had multiple colonoscopies. I've had endoscopies. I've gone to different specialists. They can't figure out what's going wrong. They're like, oh, I think it's just you're getting older. Fuck that.
This is why I'm like, and you guys want to live to 100? Are you kidding me?
Not me.
Crisp
die young.
85. Kill me off.
Oh, I'm die at 60.
Yeah.
I'm okay before the government starts getting a hold of my money.
Oh,
I'm
true.
Okay.
True.
Shitty drivers. I have a perfect story for this.
The worst.
I don't know what it was about. Maybe it just was I was really impatient or whatever else. But if we both show up at the light at the same fucking time, the person who goes to turn right has the right of way. Can we all just understand how that works?
Wait, what do you mean?
If you are coming and you're going to turn left, and I'm coming and I'm turning right at a stop sign. So we're coming at different places.
At a stop sign or a stop light?
Stop light.
Do they have a green?
No, honey. I'm saying if we come up, I can't be going right. Yeah. If they don't have a green. So if we're just coming up, if it's a flashing yellow and they're coming on, it's oncoming to me, but I'm going to go right, they go left. I get to go first. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but I actually disagree with you. If they have a green.
They don't. I just said they don't have a green. They just have a blinking yellow.
How do you know that they don't have a green?
Because if they have a green, I can't have a green arrow. I'm turning
but you
right.
Don't get
I'm not a right
on.
I'm not going right on red.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so
I'm hearing you
You're not seeing me
I'm
visually.
processing.
I have a green light. It's not a green arrow for me to turn right. I have a green arrow.
I am on your side. I am vehemently on your side.
Jesus, I was like, I'm going to fucking flip this table.
Light.
Yes.
You have the green.
Right. And they have a green as well, but they're coming into traffic, which means I get to go first. I'm trying to get on.
They have a green light, but not a green arrow.
This is literally the morning I'm going to pick up my kids for the airport.
Oh.
I'm trying to go right. This car cuts me off. So I hit on my brake and I do like a what the, gesture with my hands. But I wasn't flipping them off. I just like a what the. This fucking truck stops its car. It's really early in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go to the airport to pick up my kids. Stops the car to like fight me. And I just went around them and then I gave them the middle finger and I was like, fuck that. And I went on, got on the freeway. This then car like tried to follow me.
Yeah.
I was like, you were in the wrong.
Yeah.
You were in the wrong, you shitty driver. That was your fault.
I have to say,
People, please learn one, how to use a roundabout, learn who has the right of way, and how do we handle a 4-way stop.
Yes, and also
16-year-olds are being fucking tested. 15-year-olds are able to do it.
Yeah.
You should be able to do it at 50.
And also people are totally scary and comfortable with road rage, and I just need you to be a little bit more careful.
Yes.
Because he literally could have killed you.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't care. I told you I want to die young. That's not a deterrent for me. I'm like,
no,
okay.
I do agree with you. If I have a green light and you are waiting at a green, but you do not have a green arrow,
yes,
I have the right of way.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Keep it cool.
Nope.
Oh, fucking politics. We made a promise at the beginning of 2024.
Yeah.
I vividly remember sitting here, talking about how we knew that it was the election. We were not going to entertain any of that. We did a very good job.
Yeah.
I had some fucking people not do a good job in allowing politics to get involved. Who decided to you know the story.
Oh, I got it.
Where different people, one in particular, decides to lodge racist allegations based on anybody that I'd be voting for. It's so fucking insane.
Yeah.
I am so done with the news. We were glad we were talking about this with like not trusting the news. I will just read international news now. I'm just like, what's going on in the world? Because I'm so fucking done with the narratives, with the positions people take.
Please fact check. Please use your critical thinking.
Yes.
Like,
grow the hell up.
Let's use our brains.
Fully.
In 2025.
Fully. And the food pyramid. That's the last thing I'm not fucking bringing into 2025 because I think it's a lie. We're now learning that it's an absolute lie. What's it being replaced with? On my plate? Yeah. That's so fucking dumb. I just want people to stop telling me what to fucking eat. Yeah. And if I don't want to eat grains or bread or whatever, who cares? Cool it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that the food pyramid is crap, but it also is how I eat.
No.
Actually, I think it's more like bread and then candied treats, sugars.
Totally.
And then the meat, milk, and then I don't know what else. Vegetables.
Mine's like cold cereal and then protein shakes and goldfish, gushers. What do you care?
Bagels and cream cheese.
Cool it.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Let's leave
food policing in 2024.
My final one, which is a little bit weird, but to all the men in the locker room who I definitely don't want to see naked, put a fucking towel on. The audacity, the low-hanging balls of some of these men, and the ironically small balls of other men who are absolutely willing to just be full-blown, balls naked, with all the things, all the dangling.
You should go in a women's locker room. It's a lot safer in there.
Okay, I actually would rather deal with the men that I'm having to look at, but it's just so crazy to me. Where I'm
women just have the foresight or the brain to be a little more modest, unless it's an old granny.
Well, I'm in the sauna yesterday. Okay, and also fuck, you know who you are. If you're listening, fuck you. I know exactly who you are. But I'm in the sauna. You know who I'm talking about.
I do know. Man, these stories are wild too. If you guys only knew.
If you actually knew that wild stories. I'm in the sauna yesterday. I am listening. I'm just finishing up the Butcher and the whatever it's called. Blackbird and Butcher and Blackbird.
Yeah.
Which is a very, very, very crass book. But I'm having to listen pretty intently because I really have no idea what's going on. I just keep hearing like my hard-on pressed against the jean of my zipper. And I'm just kind of like, wait, did I think I heard that wrong? But I don't understand the plot at all. They just kill people. It's bizarre, but very, very good.
But I'm
fully invested. I have 47 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it yesterday. This guy is in there, towel wrapped around. I would say like maybe in his 40s, really hairy.
Yeah.
Really hairy.
Yeah.
This is a hand to God true story.
Yeah.
Looks at me, makes eye contact with me, and says, because I have my phone wrapped around a towel. You bring your phone in here? And I have my headphones on. And I was like, pull it. I'm like, yeah, what? You bring your phone in here? And I was like, yeah. Okay, so he initiated a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Okay, I took my headphones off. He knows he has my eyes.
Yeah.
He took his fucking towel off in the middle of our conversation. So his just dick and balls are out. Not even big. So I was just like, that's really bold. And then he wraps the towel on his head like a turban.
Hair wrap? Yeah.
Like a hair wrap, maybe. He puts it on his head. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And then just leans back. Knowing that I just watched him as he just like took his towel off in front of me. I was so shocked. So I just got up and left.
Yeah.
That asshole stayed in the steam for like 30 fucking minutes.
Oh.
I was pissed.
And
so could just cover yourselves up unless you're gorgeous.
Are you allowed to be naked in the sauna?
It says coverings required, but who's gonna go tattle?
You.
And say what? Hey, this guy didn't have his towel on. Please go talk to him.
Yes.
Honey, I did one time when I walked in on a thing.
Yeah.
I reported that nothing happened.
Yeah.
So then I'm just the Yahoo who's like reporting the naked men in the locker room.
That is. You're being assaulted, essentially.
And it's open to 12 and up. So there were multiple times, now not with this guy naked there. I will say people are pretty typically good. But there have been times where a kid will walk in and I'm like, what happens if naked Harry McGee, Sasquatch over here with this little teeny twig and berries, I'm assuming, but only look like one just because of where the dick was sleeping. But that idea of just like, hello, there are children around.
Yeah. I
just think the locker room and the steam. I mean, I'm going to go work out later. Oh, also, you know what I'm going to say fucking to 2025?
Please.
This is true story. I went boxing with Molly. Not your mom, Molly, the mom.
Yeah.
She wants me to do 6 a.m. classes.
I should get my mom to be an influencer and it will be Molly, not your mom.
Not Molly's mom. No, Molly, the not mom.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go in with her and the guy, the leader, is like in your face. He's like, oh my God, yeah, we gotta go hard, blah, blah. And you're like punching the bag. He comes up. By the end of this class, I am exhausted. Okay. My body has not been put through that heavy of a workout in a very long time.
Yeah.
And yet this guy comes up and is holding the bag and he's like, come on, that's all you got? That's all you got? I put my fucking face and my hand right up to his face and said, I'm good. You can leave. And Molly was like shook. And I was like, yeah, I don't need to be taunted.
Yeah.
I don't need to encourage. I get like, you're thinking I'm about dying. I am. That is how I'm feeling. I'm dying. So skinny now. I can barely even lift my arms
withering
up.
Away.
You put weights on them, the gloves, and just I'm like, well, I can't even, my delicate wrists, you know how they are.
Yeah.
That's a gay joke. That's so smart. Steve did say, I was like, I think I'm going to go back to boxing though. And he's like, well, tape those wrists. You know, they're because my wrists were kind of sore. I was like, delicate. He did the funniest joke. Remind me to tell you afterward a really funny joke about today. So, okay, I think my rant's over because now I'm laughing again.
It was good.
But I did have a lot of those things. I have been like, yeah, screw these people. So, well, happy 2025, you guys. We're leaving all that stuff at 2024 and we're happily doing new in 2025, which is exciting. So we love you lots.
Love you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.